Why influence? When you think of powerful business communications, you don't ordinarily think of the military. That's because officers can bark their orders to recruits, and they'll hear a "yes, sir." In working with several branches of the military, it's always interesting when we walk in with our message of moving from information to influence. After all, the military works because of its hierarchical structure and strict obedience to orders. What role does influence play in this kind of environment? We once asked a cadet in the U.S. Coast Guard what it's like, specifically how he responds to directives. He replied, "This is the military. You do what you're told. But I will tell you this, when I know how my superior officer feels or why I should follow that order, I know I respond differently or with a different motivation. It feels like more than just a directive." The cadet's response shifted from "I have to" "I want to," all because of a different communication experience that his superior created. Even in the military, there is great power in and opportunity for connection. Authority is certainly one way to influence. It's tried and true. But it's also tired. It's become synonymous with tyranny and autocracy. Instead, we challenge you to rise above the level of flashing your title to get people to act. At work, at school, at home, in our communities, and on the sports field, we all have an amazing opportunity to lead by influence, not by authority. In fact, we could even take it one step further and answer a bigger call to inspire. Our audience is begging to be inspired. And let's face it, when we're in the audience, we want to be inspired too. There's an endless deluge of data, facts, and figures. We're inundated with all of that, and we're seeking more. Trust is down, our attention is spread thin, and we're thirsting for inspiration all around us. Urge us to be part of something. Challenge us to believe in something. Motivate us to act. In his book, Start With Why, Simon Sinek writes, "There are leaders and there are those who lead. Leaders hold a position of power or influence. Those who lead inspire us. Whether individuals or organizations, we follow those who lead not because we have to, but because we want to. We follow those who lead not for them, but for ourselves." For ourselves. Every person in your audience is thinking, "What can you do for me? How does this relate to me?" And therein lies a great opportunity, one that many of us miss, the opportunity to influence them. In this book, we'll introduce the Communicator's Roadmap as your tool to navigate your communication experience intentionally and make it about them. You'll learn how to build an emotional connection with those in your audience and create a message that is so relevant to them that they can't idly sit by. We'll urge you to move away from the default practice of informing and instead aspire to entertain, direct, and inspire. This is a book on speaking, or more accurately, it's a book on communicating the spoken word. Lest you think that you are not a public speaker, here's a news flash. There is no such thing as private speaking. And while it's true that we may not have formal speaking opportunities going on all the time, each one of us communicates many times a day, every single day of the week. We are always communicating, and we can practice these principles every day. Even if we are just talking on the phone or in the hallway, we can be aware of the communication experience that we are creating for our listeners. But most of the time, we're blissfully unaware of it. Ben remembers one client from when he first started executive coaching. We'll call this client Eric. To be candid, Eric was pretty intimidating on paper. He had an undergraduate degree in computer science from a prestigious Ivy League university, a law degree from Harvard, as well as an MBA. He had been admitted to the bar in 3 states, and he was a senior executive in a global financial services group. When Ben learned that he would be training Eric, there was definitely a twinge of insecurity. Who am I to add value to this guy? But after just one meeting, the need for coaching and feedback was clear. Eric was a terrible communicator. Ben's first impression of him